Hi, welcome back to the channel. If you've watched my previous video, you'll have seen that I've just recently bought this Austin pickup from a classic car auction. In the last video it basically arrived and we brought it in the workshop and gave it a quick look around, checked underneath, just to get an idea of the condition because we hadn't seen it previously. So generally it's fine. There's a few little jobs we've identified that need doing, and we're just going to work our way through them. Nothing too serious. But one of the issues we had was when it arrived the battery was flat, and put a jump pack on, it starts up straight away, no problem at all. Tried to charge the battery for a few days, it won't have it, so I've ordered a new battery and we're going to fit that today. But what I like to do is fit the Isolator switches onto the electrical system for the battery on my classic cars, mainly for safety. It's an old car, it could be old wiring. When you've got them stored, if it's still completely powered up, there could be issues. So I tend to like to put an isolator switch in, and then when you park it, you can isolate the whole battery. There's not going to be any issues. So I need to have a little look and see if there's a convenient space for the switch to go. They're not very big, but it's somewhere convenient to get to. You don't really want it under the bonnet necessarily, or like in a boot or anything like that in the car. You want it so that when you pull up and park, you can just sort of reach for it. On MGBs, I've always put them behind the driver's seat because the battery's basically behind there. It's very easy to fit them there. You just stretch your arm behind the seat as you're sat in the driver's seat, and you can switch it on and off. Very convenient. So I'm going to have a little look under the dash on this, see if there's somewhere easy to get to. You've also got to run the cables from the battery to the switch, so that could be an issue if it's too far away. So we'll have a little look. Hopefully there'll be a spot for us to fit it, and we'll get that fitted today. Okay, so the battery's back there, straightforward enough. I've had a little look inside, and I can sort of lean from the driver's seat under the dash to this sort of area here. So if the switch was in here, I could get to it reasonably easy, and it's not too far from the battery as well for running cables. So basically, it might be a little bit dark in here actually. But yeah, if you're sat in the driver's seat, you can sort of reach under there. So we're looking at that panel there. If it was just there, you could reach under, operate the switch, and that's nice and easy. So I'm hoping it'll go there. I'll have a bit of a closer look, make sure it fits okay. So basically I ordered two of these. The main reason was I think one was £6.50 and two was £8, so I ordered two. I do use them, like I say, I tend to always put them on my classic cars just as a safety feature. So if you're not familiar with these, it's basically a switch, two connectors, and that clips in there and turns like that. So that would be power on, and then hopefully you just reach underneath, click it to there, power's off. You can take that out and take it away for security, but I tend to just leave them in, so it's just like off when you park it, and it just disconnects the battery. Simple as that. The fixing of them, there's just some holes there, so you just put a couple of little bolts in, and then your terminals, two battery terminals there. They can go on the earth side of the battery or the positive side of the battery. On MGBs, I usually put them on the earth just because that kind of works quite convenient. This one, the positive side is on the side where I'm working, or where I'm hoping this will go, so it might end up on the positive side. I don't know that there's a great difference. You're isolating it, so I don't think it makes a difference really. So as I say, they're just readily available, they're not expensive, and they're straightforward and easy to fit as well. But it's just a bit of peace of mind. So I'll have a little look and see if this is going to fit. Okay, so I'm hoping it's going to fit in here on this panel. It's sort of recessed enough to get that on there. And the way it fits is you have to drill a hole big enough for that part there to come through the panel and onto the inside. And then obviously a couple of holes for the fixing of it as well. So this side that you see there will be in the engine bay, and that side there will be inside the car, which is what we want. So I can't see any reason why that won't go there. And like I said before, you can get to it quite easily like just from sitting in the driver's seat, which is what I want, nice and easy to use. So that's that looks like it's going to work. And then I just need to run, at the moment we've got this positive cable, we've got on the battery there, it goes down here to that solenoid. So basically, instead of going straight to the solenoid, it's going to go to this switch over here and then back to where it was originally going. So we're just interrupting that circuit, if you like, with this switch in the middle. It's just an on-off switch, so quite straightforward really. I need one extra cable, which I think I've probably got, because that cable is going to go from there to the switch, and then we need one from the switch to the solenoid. And if you didn't watch the last video, which you should definitely go and do after you watch this one, this is the pickup. It was in a classic car auction, and I had a bid on it. Didn't go and see it because it was like an hour's drive or so away. Good walk around video of the car, so I had a reasonably good idea. So anyway, it's arrived and it's pretty good. There's a few scratches and little marks on it here and there, but it's solid enough and just needs a little bits tidying up here and there. So I'm pretty pleased with what we got. Some of you might have already noticed that on this positive battery terminal it already has a battery cutoff. Now, I don't really like these ones. I've never bought and fitted one of these. I've had some cars with them on, not particularly keen on them. It's just basically extends onto the existing lead, and then it's just an isolator switch. The trouble with these is, as I mentioned before, they're not convenient. You just park your car up, you have to get out, lift the bonnet, disconnect it. It's just not practical. It's okay if you're storing the car for a long time. You can come in here next to the battery and turn that. But so it has got one fitted, but it's not the type I like and not very practical. And one of the things I need to know about is this battery terminal go on the battery there, and will the lead fit across to a new switch? And it looks as though it will. So that's the positive side. I'll be on here, and that should fit across to a switch. I'll run it behind all that, but that should work fine. And I have actually got another cable, and this will run from a switch down to that solenoid there. I had this one here already. I can't remember the amperage was, but it's rated for these, but it seems a bit thin for me, so I'm going to fit it for now. But I'll probably end up picking up another one and replace that at some point with something that looks a bit chunkier. But the main thing for now is that it will fit on the back of the switch. It's just about long enough, so we're good there. So before I go drilling holes, I'm just going to check again that that's going to operate okay from there. I don't think it's going to be an issue. So as I said, it's just going to be this half that's in the car. So I've just drilled a pilot hole there. I'm just going to use one of these stepper drills. That'll focus. The largest one on here is pretty much the same size. Might have to use a slightly bigger one, but that's basically what we use to drill through. got the hole drilled. And that should now just slip through there. Yep, there we go. So you can see this sits flush against the bulkhead there. Just work out the position I'm going to have it in. And if we look inside, you see that bit sticks through. I've just got to clean off some of the raggy edges there so there's nothing sharp. And that's pretty much it. Drill some holes, fasten it on. So I held it in position, got a marker pen and just marked it through the holes. So I've got a couple of marks there where I need to drill. Yeah, basically line it up where you want it, and the consideration is where the switch is going to sit. Sort of position, and then drill those holes, and I can fit that. So I'm going to fit it with these little tiny nuts and bolts and this spring washer. I'm using these because they're relatively flat-headed, so by the time they go in there, they sit well out of the way of any sort of connection here. I'll go through the bulkhead, and there's just enough space to get the washer and the nut on there. Okay, so I've got that mounted. A couple of bolts through. There's 4 holes, but 2 is more than enough. And I've checked the wires, and the wires will fit there. So that's worked quite well. And inside the car, you can see it just sticks through there. So that's off. That's on. And you can remove it if you want to. So that's quite an easy system. You're probably aware of how these things fit. You've probably come across them before, but just in case anybody's not, that's why I've sort of talked you through the process. And then we just need the wires on. That's the battery one. Okay, that's the new battery installed. Connected it back up again. Big power lead leading down there. And back to the solenoid. As I say, I'm going to replace that with a bit of wire, slightly thicker. That's fine for now. I'll see if I'll give it a try and see if it works okay. Okay, we have nothing there. Just reach under here. It's switched on. switch under again, and off. That's the battery isolated. So it's a fairly quick job to do. It's taken me a bit longer because I've been chatting to people. But yeah, straightforward. But the main thing is it keeps the car nice and safe when it's parked up. Okay, so that's pretty much this video wrapped up. Thanks for watching it. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, most people probably know how to do them switches anyway, but it's just in case someone doesn't. Make sure you click the subscribe button. That'll help the channel. And check out some of our other videos. See you on the next one.